So we're celebrating our 10th anniversary.
10 years.
It's been a decade, which is amazing and mind-blowing to us.
It's a big deal.
Yeah. And so today we want to take you on a journey with us to the top 10 places that really had an impact in our lives. We call this our journey?
Journey of love.
Journey of love.
Right.
With the Garcon. So we're about to head over to the place that we first laid eyes on each other.
When she first laid eyes on me. Right?
When we first laid eyes on each other, it's my old church, Good Shepherd Baptist Church. If you look around, this is Rogers and President. This is where I grew up. I actually lived in that house. That little is now a church. We used to feast at this that place that's like the bridal shop. It was a Chinese store. That was our favorite Chinese store. And that supermarket, that's the same supermarket that's still there. Been there since I was born. So we're heading over now.
Like most places in Brooklyn, everything become a church.
So that's where I used to live. And that's the church. Well, it's not a church anymore. But it's so funny that it's called the Grace of God. That's where we first laid eyes on each other. Irventz has his version.
That's where.
But being a pastor's kid, you're raised to be hospitable and respectful to people who come into your church, welcoming them so that they, feel welcome in the church. He was a new face, so what am I going to do? Go and say hi.
However, the true story is my organization I was part of was hosting an event at that location. We were just using their church for our event. And then she saw me at the pulpit doing my thing. And she came up to say hi to the kid,
Yes, I said hi because he was a new face and I didn't want him to backslide and go back into his old life. Yeah. So I wanted him to feel.
Life in church.
And the rest is history, okay?
As they say.
Good Shepherd Baptist Church.
This place where we are presently on Ocean Avenue, between Lincoln Road and Parkside Avenue. I used to live in a building right here on Ocean Avenue. And this place was very significant for us because early on dating, brother didn't have no job, just in school. So what we used to do from my apartment, when Ann would come and visit me, she'll wait outside. Pastor's daughter can't come inside. And so we used to go inside Prospect Park, and we have a special place in the park where we used to just hang out.
It was called The Spot.
It was called The Spot. We named it The Spot because it was our spot. And the good thing about my wife, my girlfriend then, she did not femme exigence. What does that mean? She was in high maintenance, where I have to take her this place to that place. So being here right across from the park, it was so cool because all we have to do is cross over and we have a great time at our spot. Yeah, so we're gonna visit our spot.
Great memories. Let's go. All right, so being the clever person that I am, I knew I had to switch my shoes for this trek because we're in a park and we're trying to find our exact location. Unfortunately, we've been walking and we can't find it.
It's been too long.
It's been 15 years since we've been here, but just being in the park is just significant in itself, right. Because we have so many memories at this particular park. So even though we can't find our spot, we're still here, and it marks one of our journeys on one of our stops on our journey to love.
Yeah, the park is a spot.
Yeah. at Redeemer. Well, we're not at Redeemer, but we're in the vicinity. So this spot is special to us because this is pretty much where we kind of first started ministry together. My church and his church, we kind of formed a mass choir. My church is called Good Shepherd, his church is called Saved by Grace. Well, the choir was called Saved by Grace. And so we merged the choirs together and was called Saved by the Grace of the Good Shepherd. And this is where we kind of started to get to know each other on a more personal level.
And it's also significant because Pastor Jamil, rest in peace, he was my pastor. He was also the person I did our premarital counseling. So this church is very significant to us in that sense.
It was one of the officiants in the wedding.
Yeah, and also this is where I think it's the second time Ann approached me because we were downstairs in the basement.
Hey, seriously though, you're making me like a fiend.
We were downstairs in the basement. Choir was about to pray because we're about to minister, and then she came up to me and say, "Hi, I know you. You go to my school."
Because I recognized it looks so bad. I recognized him from my church. No, that's the first time I said hi to him in my church. Then I saw him at my school, and then I see him here. So of course I'm gonna say, hey, I know you.
How does that make you look bad?
Because you're making it seem like I was fiending or like running after you. Anyway, whatever.
That's what it is.
So we are standing here across the street from ECCC, which is Evangelical Crusade Christian Church.
The pastor is Reverend Dr. Sam Nicholas. Good guy, really good
Awesome guy. And there's a very good reason why this place is so significant to us. Let's go inside and check it out.
Another church.
Shut up. So this is the very seat that we sat on over 15 years ago. Same pews, same distance, and you'll see like a little bit of distance between us because that day was a Sunday. We were not happy with each other. I had an attitude and I was kind of treating him a little bad. I felt really bad. I just didn't understand my feelings at the time. And so we came to a conference here, but that morning I was in church and I was like really distraught because I was at a place where I didn't understand what my feelings were doing to me. We were together, but I didn't want to be with him, and I don't know. So that morning I was in church and I prayed and I said, God, I need you to speak to me today. I need you to let me know if I need to be with this guy or not, because I'm not understanding why I'm feeling the way that I'm feeling. So I asked him to speak to me that very day. So that night we come to a conference here, and at this moment they were doing an altar call, but it wasn't for us. So we just put our heads down like that. Do it? Yeah. Like that.
There's more space.
And as our heads were down, a pastor comes down the aisle and he stands in front of us. And I knew that he was coming closer because he was speaking in tongues, and I heard the tongues getting closer and closer and closer, right until he was like right above us. I was like, oh my God, what's happening? And then he taps us and says, you two stand up. And so we stood up. I was shaking at this point. And he says, you two, one of you in this relationship is questioning, is doubting whether you should be in this relationship or not. And I was like, oh my God, is this really happening? And then he said, as I was walking down the aisle, the Spirit of the Lord sent me to you because you need confirmation. And so he says, God told me to tell you that this relationship is of him in the name of Jesus. And he took our hands and he put it together, and then he prayed for us. And I literally just started to weep because I couldn't believe that actually happened. He answered my prayer that very day, and I left here crying like out of it. We still broke up after because my feelings were just kind of messing around with me, and I guess I needed time to. You
couldn't believe all this was true.
Oh, it was true.
All this was true. Handle it.
But that Valentine's Day, I gave myself back to him as a gift.
She didn't have no money to buy me a gift.
Shut up.
Put a bowl around her neck, talking about. I should have said no. Return to sender. Here we we made it to Kingsborough. We are standing outside of the school because the security guard won't let us in. They have no kind of respect for the alumni. So any kind of phone calls from them about contribution, I'm gonna.
We good.
Yeah, they gotta.
No, we don't do that song anymore. Remember?
But in any case, this school is significant because that's where our friendship sparked. Because we realized we went to the same school, being involved in the same Christian community, and then the choir that we're a part of. We're going to a trip, a convention, music convention in Niagara Falls.
And we're still friends. We're not dating or anything.
Yeah. So Anne asked, we were talking about it, but she really played it right that we end up sitting together on the bus. But we'll just
He
say,
wanted to sit next to me, but didn't know how to say, didn't know how to ask, because he really had no game.
So I was gonna
no,
let
it's
go.
okay.
So
It's
now,
okay.
Now I'm going to tell the true story. The full story is this.
He really
I'm sitting down, and we're talking on the way home to get on the train to go back to Queens. And I told her, I'm excited about the trip, but I want to get some sleep on the bus. I'm tired, I want to sleep on the bus. To which Ann said, you're not going to get no sleep on the bus. I said, why is that? She said, because I'm going to keep you up. That was her slick way of trying to ask to sit with me. So I said, how's that going to work? You want to sit down with me?
In other
And then she
words,
was like,
me
yeah.
helping him with his game. He didn't know how to ask to sit next to me, so I needed to help. And it's okay, Irventz, it's okay. You didn't know how. That's what I'm here for, to help you.
So long story short, we ended up sitting together on the bus for this 8-hour plus trip to get to Niagara Falls, to go to different venues on different days. And then that's when really the spark happened on the bus. But all this started here through Kingsborough.
Not my favorite place, because I didn't end up here in the right way.
She didn't go to class.
But everything happens for a reason.
Yeah, so she always find me in the library, lunchtime. When I'm about to go to class, she found a way to connect with me, to walk me to class. So I don't know how, there was no GPS back then, so I don't know how you're able to do that, but Kingsborough.
Whatever. So here we are, and we're in front of Fridays in the city. Way back when we were kids, I dared Irventz to ask my dad on our first date, and
I did it. I was in the car. She actually wanted me to ask her father for permission to take her out on the first date. Called him up. I'm like, I don't even know if I introduced myself. I think you already knew me at that time. But I was just telling him, I wanted to get out to eat. And the only thing he told me, ask her mother. Ask her mother. I'm like, okay, so I'm calling you for no reason, basically.
But it just really melted my heart that he went that extra mile to show that he really was interested in me, and proving to my dad that he was a gentleman. Because, I mean, they actually said yes. I was really surprised. Being a pastor's daughter, the first one where, so many expectations, and you can't have a boyfriend, you can't wear earrings, you can't wear pants. But they actually said yes to him, and it really it kind of sealed the deal for me too.
Yeah, and back then I thought Fridays was like a 5-star restaurant. I really thought it was. And she ate.
I didn't have a salad. Nah, I had.
She was not trying to be shy about her eating, boy. I was like, all right, very impressive. Did you have a salad?
I didn't have a salad. I had some wings and some pasta or something like that. But yes, this is another spot on our road, or a journey to love, to love, journey
of love.
Of love.
Of, on,
In
near,
love.
under.
To buy love.
Over,
To love. With love.
So right now we are standing outside of Antioch.
Antioch.
Let's try that again. All right, so right now we are standing outside of Antioch Baptist Church. How do you say it?
Antioch Baptist Church.
So this is the church where we actually got married, where our wedding celebration ceremony took place over 10 years ago. 10 years and 1 day ago, we walked through these church halls and we made a commitment, doors, and said, I do. It was such a beautiful day. The weather was perfect.
So it's a beautiful sanctuary. Wish it was open so we could see inside, but
yeah. We basically closed down the street because there was over 400 people in this place. So parking, people double parking,
Triple parking.
just to join with us and witness that day. And it was such a beautiful, beautiful service, as my father-in-law liked to joke.
He called it a revival.
Yeah, it was that many people there, and so we'll be remiss if we did not visit the place where it kind of all started.
Well, everything all started, but like, yeah, where it kind of started our actual marriage. Yeah.
So.
And they're celebrating their 80th anniversary. We were here for the 70th. Whoop, whoop.
So, Antioch Baptist Church.
You're everything I prayed and waited for, and my love I promised you.
Okay, so here we are at Lutheran Hospital, one of our most special or significant places on our journey to love, because this is where we had both of our babies, Melody and Owen.
Exactly 1 year and 3 days apart.
Yes, 7 and 6 years ago. And this was where life changed for us, like for the better.
The drive wasn't fun. We live in Queens, drive all the way out here, 5 o'clock in the morning the first time, and then 3 in the afternoon the second time around, being stuck in traffic, but nonetheless, very significant place. And it was a journey on a regular basis because we live in Queens. It's literally an hour away from this hospital. But because this is where her doctor delivered babies, this is where we had to go, and the drive was crazy, but it was all worth it. I drove here every single day.
Every day.
Because they did not allow husbands to sleep in the hotel, in the hotel, in the hospital.
But he stayed as late as he could.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and they had visiting hours too. You couldn't stay as long as you wanted.
Yeah.
You couldn't sleep. But I did it every single day to be with this knucklehead and our 2 babies. Not at the same time. They were born years apart.
Duh.
But
he loves me.
significant moment, more in the journey of Anna and Garcon.
Lutheran.
Anna and Garcon. Oh my God. And Irventz Garcon. Whatever.
Alright, so stop. Okay, so we're kind of excited right now because we are at Trattoria. I can't even say it.
Astoria
World's Manor. This is where we had our reception 10 years ago, and they allowed us to come in, and we even saw our guy, our Ike guy. He was the one that kind of like, you know, our maitre d' person. I'm kind of excited right now. And they allowed us to come in, and we're gonna go through those doors. They're setting up and everything, but that's exactly the room where we.
I got men up.
This is so good. This is the actual room that we had our reception in. Come on.
Let's go see. TV cribs.
I will be here so you can cry on my shoulder when the mirror tells us we're older. We'll be together. 'Cause I will be here.
It has been a wonderful 10 years. Through this journey of love, we have learned a lot about each other, and the learning still continues.
Melody and Owen are the blessings and byproducts of our union, and our prayer is that God continues to paint in us the image of love that they need to see. Just remember that the key to a successful marriage is making it work. Which entails sacrifice,
Compromise,
acceptance,
and communication.
just to name a few.
It is definitely a journey worth taking with the right partner.
We hope that you were inspired by our journey as you continue or embark on your own.
God bless.
God bless you.
I wanna be more like you. More like you. I wanna be more like you. More like you. More.
Rouge et bleu.